All right, Pete. Been an unbelievable year. We've had it's actually been a breakthrough year for us here at the Pete and Sebastian Show, given the fact that this year we've had more guests than we've ever had. And I think for us, collectively, it was just an amazing time talking to Garcia. Garcia is someone we've mentioned on this podcast over and over and over again. And the thing that stands out in that podcast is the handkerchief with cologne, which I've done once. I stole that idea. I've done it once while I was out, and I got to tell you, it's a beautiful technique, and I plan to use it in the future. Whitney Cummings coming in here. We broke the ice about her, infatuation she had with you in Montreal.
She made fun of our T-shirt. She was fun, man. She was a great actor. So she was awesome. Andy Garcia changed my life just seeing that guy in person. We got a nice one with Jake Johnson. We're going to share on this best of episode right now, where he told an amazing story about working with Tom Cruise. Yeah, it was the guests changed everything, man. It was a great time. It turned it into almost like a TV show. So this is a bunch of great clips from a bunch of those guests. We're going to share them with you right now here. A nice little best of to close out the year.
This is the Pete and Sebastian Show with Pete Correale and Sebastian Maniscalco.
Okay, guys, we don't have a lot of guests on the show, but today we have...
Well, thanks. You don't have a lot of guests. I appreciate that.
No, when we do, it's meaningful. It's meaningful. Jay Leno is here with us today, and I want to start by saying, Jay, that I don't even know if I've ever told you this, but when I first did The Tonight Show, I was nervous, right?
Me too.
Well, when you see a guy peeing his pants, you go, hey, wait a minute, that big stain in the front. Yeah, maybe change, come back, So that's, I don't want to say that was the giveaway, but you're in the business long enough. You go, hey, guys, pants are wet in front. That means, they're probably a little nervous.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. You are truly a living legend.
Well, yeah, thank you.
Legend guy.
Thank you. Thanks for saying I'm old. I appreciate that.
No, I'm not saying that. I mean, you were a legend when I did the Tonight Show. Yeah. Same thing. I was so scared. Yeah. And we'll get into it. I don't want to rush ahead of you.
And then you went back out. You did your warm up, and then you went back out and said, hey, I got a first timer backstage. If you could, really be receptive to him. So, and I was like, wow, that's cool that you did that. So we're so happy to have you here.
Well, thanks.
We need to get into a lot of things with you and what you've seen over your career.
Are you grateful for your hair? It's still looking fantastic.
It's Italian hair, and that's fine. You're looking
still flowing, baby.
It's
still
Suave
flowing.
Shampoo. I really don't spend a lot of money on it. It's that big 69-cent jar with shampoo in it. Yeah. So no, I can't.
That hair looks like it's been stress-free for years. You know what I mean?
I'm not a stress guy. I don't stress at anything. I really do. It's not my brother. My mother's from Scotland. My father's Italian. I got the Italian side. I got the hair. I got the teeth. My brother got all the bad stuff, the bad skin, the English teeth. And he worried about everything, he died about 20 years ago. And that's kind of what killed, he had been in Vietnam and he got cancer and then it came back, but he always worried about stuff and just all this all the time, and I just never was that way.
You don't worry about anything. Like, talk about your career, because I worry a lot that this could go away tomorrow, right?
Yeah, but look at it this way. If it goes away tomorrow, you're doing all right. At any point you can end this and go, very successful career.
I guess I never look at it that way.
No, but it's true. To me, if I had gotten canceled after 10 weeks on The Tonight Show, it could have been a nightmare. But after 22 years, I go, okay, I kind of proved it. If you don't like me, you don't like me, but you can't say I didn't accomplish something. You know what I mean? Right. So no, I don't worry about it. You know what it is? The great thing about being on The Tonight Show was I could be in show business without being in it, in the sense that I could observe everything without doing coke and banging hookers and all that crap. I could like to me, I love Charlie Sheen. I don't want to be Charlie Sheen, but Charlie Sheen makes me laugh.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, one day we got Charlie booked on the show. I get this call about 4:00. We tape at like 5 at then. I go, yeah, it's Charlie. Oh man, listen, the limo got T-boned. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. It caught fire. It's okay. It's not a big deal. I said, well, listen, listen, don't worry about it. I said, I can get Rob Schneider or I'll get somebody to fit. Don't worry about it. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks. So I said, well, Charlie had a limo. What? Yeah. So, TMZ, everything's on. I don't hear anything about it. I said, give me the limo driver, will you? Joe? Yeah, Jay Leno. Hey, what's up? Did you pick up Charlie? No, I'm outside the house, but he hasn't come out yet. I go, you didn't get T-boned? He goes, what? And he said he got T-boned on the one. I'm thinking, okay, this is like the kind of lie an 8-year-old will tell. You know, like there's a monster under the bed. You know, the kind of thing you can check in a second. You know? So I called you. I go, what are you doing? What? I just spoke to the limo driver. I said, we'll do it. You know, he was high. I don't know what he was doing, but it just made me laugh. It's such a stupid. Don't tell me something. Oh my God, is he okay? You know, we got people. Yeah. We're not going to check. Right. One of our guests is in an accident. Yeah. The car is on fire.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Well, that's true. He's probably going, I can't believe you don't check. I didn't think you checked. I'm making a call.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I love. I mean, I could be around that without being.
That's great.
You know, like I stopped going to the Comedy Store, and I love the Comedy Store, but, you know, Sam Kinison would come in, he'd have his guns, and he'd be doing coke, and I'm thinking, you know, I don't want to be here when this place gets raided,
right? Because
I'll get dragged in, and I'm sure I don't do coke, but I'm sure I'd have residue or something. You know, there'd be some, no one thinks you're innocent if you're not. Yeah. So I just told Mitz that, you know, I didn't go back for 30 years. I really didn't. Yeah. I just said, I'm a comic, you know, people lose sight. That's why it's a business. I mean, you do it the right way. You go, you work, you go home. I mean, that's the trick. I enjoy it. I enjoy being around it. I'm not absorbed by it. I don't think, oh, this is, you know.
Yeah.
I'm really something. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Jay Leno. Yeah, I get it.
Well, I know you'd work on the weekends in Hermosa, right?
I did last night.
And like, what like do you,
every Sunday since 78.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny.
So
it's a nice room.
Yeah, no, I like the Magic Club.
Well, you know what's nice about it? It's normal audiences. When you work the improv and the comedy, they're great rooms, but it's like Taylor Negron used to do a bit about that. You have jokes that work as far as La Brea and maybe to La Cienega because it's so hip and inside.
Yeah.
The rest of the world doesn't know what you're talking about. You know, that was the problem when I was in Boston. There were so many great Boston comics, but they just stayed in Boston. So they had jokes about Mayor White and, you know, Copley Square. You know, the thing down there by Copley Square. Yeah. People scream with laughter. You go to Hartford and they go, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking? So to me, my thing was always, when you get famous somewhere, just get out. Go to the next place. Go to the next level, whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I used to find a lot of comfort and sanity in being able to talk to comedians in the green room, even if it's for 5 seconds here, 5 seconds there. Like, how was that gig for you? How was this thing for you? What was your walkout? Just whatever. Yeah. And now everything is for public consumption, and we've stopped kind of just being real friends.
That's
so that might not be healthy, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't really, I mean, girls, look, I'm sure that there's the same kind of competition with guys, but I do think that because there's such a scarcity complex with the girls, because it used to be like Nikki Glaser and I always talk about that. Like, it used to be me or you. There was one that needed to be on the lineup. It was going to be me or it was going to be you. So we were sort of more pitted against each other, but you know.
That's changing though now.
I think maybe I don't really think about it. Like, comedy's so hard. I'm not looking for ways to make it harder. I'm like, let's be enemies. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's funny when you say when I'm on the road a lot of times, like the person open for me, like I'm like, where's so and so? I don't have a set person. When I go someplace, I like to choose somebody. And he's hanging out. Blah, blah. I go bring him or her in. Let's chat. You know. But because same thing, I like that vibe and that. But so often now, it's so different now that after a little while, I'm like, all right, so good luck out there.
Yeah, Godspeed.
That's my way of saying, get the fuck out. Yeah, now. I'm gonna call an old comic friend of mine, see if he's off stage. We're gonna talk from our green room because I can't relate to this sometimes. You know, it's
that's so interesting.
And then they'll say that they love somebody who I don't like. you know, the comedian like, oh man, we just saw so and so last week, and in my head, I'm like, get the. You know,
they probably are trying to make small talk to make you like them.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're
Right.
probably like, we saw so and so, they were awesome, and they think they're gonna get on your good side, and you're just like,
well, I was telling him, I'll even say where I was playing Portland, and I've never been
Maine
there.
or
Oregon.
Oh.
And I was overwhelmed by everything, the homeless
Yeah.
and all that, you know. And it was just after an ice
place is a
storm.
mess.
It is a mess, and it was bringing me down. And the show was great. I had a great time with the people, but it was like a weird night, and it was an ice storm. And I come off, and the MC was a weird dude, the opener. And I go back to the green room, and he goes, "So how'd you feel?" He says something like, "How was it?" How was it? Like it was such a random thing, and I had just had enough. I've been on a road a lot, and I go, "Hey, Pete, great set. It's been so fun working with you. Nice to meet you. Hope I can do it again." Jesus fuck.
Did you do that?
I said all that. I go, Jesus fuck, and then I walk away. He goes, oh, I go, dude, don't even bother now.
So the set wasn't great.
No, it was fine. Oh, that's what you're getting at. That's good. That's interesting.
So it didn't go well.
No, it did, and I thought that was such a weird thing to say, you know. All right.
Dude, I hate that shit. I cannot stand it when people say like backhanded compliments when you come off stage. Like you come off stage, you think you did well, and someone's like, you know, you're too smart for them.
Right.
You're just.
Yeah,
You're like, I
yeah.
think I did fine. What?
Right.
I hate that shit.
That's what I'm talking
yeah.
about.
Or
Yes.
like you come off stage and they're just like, weird crowd.
Yeah.
You're like, I didn't think they were weird.
Right.
But do you say that, or do you just go? Because he's got a I mean, you actually saw what the comedian actually saw that night.
Yeah, he snapped. Yeah.
Right.
Are you able to hold that in, or do you give a snide comment back? How do you handle that?
I definitely hold it in because I have an insecurity that people already think I'm a bitch because I just have a, I guess, bitchy face, or if I, you know, I just will now. If it's someone at my like, if you said that to me, I'd be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" You know what I mean? Like I'd make fun of it or whatever. We'd have a joke about it. But if it's someone who's like a feature, an opener or something, I'm just like.
But they get away with this poor behavior. So much of the young people today, this like mousy bullshit, like because they never get called on it, man.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't know how to communicate,
or just don't at all.
Don't at all.
Don't at all.
I've done that through my years. I've always made a point when I'm playing someplace, if I don't like the guy on or gal, or I don't think they're funny, I've actually, if I'm in the path when they come off, I'll move. Like as a comic, I won't stand there because I don't want to say to you, good set, because that's not true. So
Last time I was in Portland, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead. I thought you were going to say I walked away.
Helium. I did that Helium. Like I'll go up there to just like work out new material in small clubs. And I always try to say like, let's get a local feature, local opener, local host, because it gives them work. You know what I mean? It's so hard to get stage time. You're trying to help them out, right? It's too expensive to move
and
to
they get
LA
to work with you. That's
he
awesome.
took a
Exactly.
shit in the bathroom of the green room.
Oh, man.
Show 1 Friday. 7 p.m. show Friday night. That I had to bite my tongue about the entire weekend.
Oh my God.
I know.
Oh my
The
God.
level of disrespect.
That is.
There's a bathroom, I mean, truly like 40 yards away.
Right.
In the green room.
Right.
And I didn't say anything.
Yeah, that's a dick move.
That is. Have you ever had them in the green room, the opener and his girlfriend or boyfriend, and then that opener goes to go on, the girlfriend's sitting there. I'm like, it's a package deal. Everybody get the fuck out.
The less funny they are, the more people they have with them.
Oh yeah,
that's
always.
true.
This is how I knew Sebastian was going to make it. He never one time came to the Comedy Store with one person, not a girl, not a friend, nobody.
Guy performs with his car keys in his pocket.
He's out. He comes in like a panther, just in, out.
I'll tell you what, you bring up a great point. I never perform with anything in my pocket, a wallet, keys, or anything. And I want your take on this. My take is, I feel like if you're performing, that's the uniform. And if you came up there with a wallet in your pocket, you almost become one of the audience, because even to do what Jay Leno was saying, if you got a Band-Aid on your finger, people are going to go, well, what's with the Band-Aid? He's going to address it.
But if your finger's bleeding, they're going to go, what's with the bleeding on us?
That's that
I mean, he'd also just caught on fire. Use the Band-Aid.
we ask everybody on the cast, have you ever come across in your career Tom Cruise? Have you ever been in a room with this guy?
I worked with him.
Oh, what movie?
I did a movie called Tag with him, where I spent. Not only was I
Tag?
No, I'm sorry.
I was like, fuck, Tom Cruise is in Tag?
He's the guy you were marrying, you asshole. The blonde hair. This fucking dude doesn't know where he is. Tag was, we were trying to tag Tom Cruise's head.
Jesus Christ.
No, I did The Mummy with him in 2017. They were trying to launch whatever, I can't remember the studio, I think it was Universal, was trying to create their Marvel universe. Angelina Jolie was going to be like Bad Frankenstein. Del Toro was going to be a character. I saw all the artwork of it. It was like a dark world of those characters.
Right.
And Tom Cruise was redoing The Mummy. And I was, we were soldiers together. And I died and became like a zombie or a vampire, whatever, zombie. But not only did I work with him, we trained together
That's
for
fascinating.
2 straight months.
Okay.
We did 3 weeks of stunts together in Africa.
Hold on,
I've been
bro.
on his private jet.
Hold on, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Bro.
I knew Tom.
This is the closest we've been. This is the closest we've been.
Yeah.
I mean, we who had an
I can
experience?
see why Tom would hang out with this guy.
Yeah,
Fucking that laugh alone, you get on my jet if I had one. Thank you. Jake, you're a good dude. I can't wait to hear this shit. Got trained with Tom. Like knocking on each other's door. You ready?
Well, I wouldn't say knocking on each other's. It's Tom and everybody else. You don't go to Tom's door and go, "Hey, you ready, Tommy?" Somebody who works for him knocks on your door and says, "Fat ass, let's go." And you go, "Yes, sir."
Oh shit! Wow.
So is this guy
Amazing, man.
is he glowing in real life? Because in the movies, this guy looks like he's radiating an energy that I have yet to see either in me or anybody else.
So what it is with Tom, and my big takeaway from it is I had been coming off of doing a lot of TV and a lot of kind of movies over the break, and I was burning out. And part of our business I love. You know, part of it is the best, and the other part is you go like, oh, this is how the sausage is made. And the old kid dream of it is different. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of stars, you know, when you're with them, you go like, editing really saves your ass. You know, like, you're some movie magic. Because whatever it is, like, I know you're winning all the awards and everyone says you're hot shit, but I'm not seeing much. And then you go, great. And some people, you really see it and you go like, fun. And then you go like, well, this is just what it is. It's not for us doing it. It's for them watching it.
Right.
Then you work with Tom. And whatever it is, it's exploding out of his ears.
Right.
And he loves it more than anybody. Here's a story that's a ridiculous story, but sums up who Tom Cruise is for me. We were in Namibia shooting action stuff.
Sorry,
Namibia, Africa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You said that. You said that like.
Yeah, my bad.
You said we're in Des Plaines.
Yeah, no. I know.
You're right. That's on me.
I know.
Yeah, because when they said Namibia to me too, I went like this. Namibia? But you fucking clap. We're in Namibia. You guys know.
You said it like, if you used it in Scrabble, I'd be like, guy, pick up the chips.
Yeah, so we're down in Namibia, which is in South Africa, shooting an action movie together, and it's intense. Like, it's no joke. He doesn't fuck around. You know, like the stunts, there was like one, you know, the first time we did it, we're running across these buildings. We're on a 3-story building that was rigged to like collapse, and then we fall off, hit the ground. The ground was built to shake, and we get pulled. We practice it for a long time. We do the first take. It hurts. You know, like I think something went wrong. My breath got taken away. My back hurt. We call cut. He rushes over to me and he goes, "You okay?" And I didn't want to say it in front of the stunt people who are true animals, but I was like, actor to actor, I got to say like, we're sissies, right? And I was like, "Your name is Tom. My name is Jake. We fell off a building together." And I went like, "I don't know, man. I think something went wrong." And he goes, "Why?" And I go like, "Because when I slammed the ground, like I lost, like it took my breath away, like it hurt." And he goes, "Well, you fell off a building, Jake." And then he goes, "Are you injured?" And I went like, "No." And he goes, "Because you've done the way that we all taught you to roll, right?" And I go, "Yeah, we drilled it so many times that like I hit the ground and rolled." And he goes, well, what do you think? It's going to hurt. You're doing a stunt. And that's when I realized, like, oh, this dude's an animal. We did that 3 more times.
Why are you doing this? Like isn't there a stunt guy?
So he does all of them.
Yeah, he does. But
I didn't have a choice because it's a 2-shot.
Oh.
So believe me, I tried to get out of it. He doesn't let you out.
Yeah, but I like what I would do.
Not a joke. He doesn't let you out.
Just to be invited.
For real. When that movie did badly, it did fine overseas, but when it wasn't a hit, I called my agents and I go like, so what does that mean? And they go, it means they're probably not going to do a sequel. I cried out of happiness, and that's a true story. Because he told me afterwards, he's like, he wrote me into the ending where my character comes back and me and him ride off and we're going to a pyramid. And what he likes to do is he likes to kind of fuck with you a little bit. And he likes when you're scared. So like heights scare me. Because they're high up, right? And I don't belong up there. Well, we would have to do stuff like we would have to propel down these like huge things. He would have me training in studios where I would have to climb to the top of a soundstage with a little rig and start going over, and he would be cracking up when I was scared. And all his stunt guys, and I would be like, it's scary, man. You're going up like a ladder a little bit like this. You know, you go to a soundstage, the way top.
Shit.
Some of those ladders go there. There was no rig on me.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, this isn't like that. I'm going a little bit backwards. And I'm like, if I fall, I die. And the thought for him and his people are like, why would you fall? Hold on. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. I want to be in tag.
Yeah.
I want to be not even know if I'm in a scene.
This guy's like adrenaline rush, everything, right?
But so,
God.
So we're in Namibia. We're doing this stuff, and it's no joke hard. Like physically and scary hard.
But before you went any further, I got
a building, Jake.
Yeah. And the cardio alone was a nightmare. Sprinting like a block and a half each take. Keep going.
Do you get the call for this movie saying you got the movie and you're so amped that you're in the movie with Tom Cruise? Is all this like, you're going to be doing scaling? Is this?
No, that's not how it happened.
So you're finding this out. You go, you climb the wall. You go, what?
Yeah. So here's the real life of what happened. I get a call saying Alex Kurtzman, the director of it, is doing a movie, and he's a great guy, very talented dude, very nice. He's doing a movie with Tom Cruise. He really likes you for a part. Are you interested? I contacted Olivia Wilde.
Tom really likes you.
No, Alex Kurtzman, the director.
Oh, okay.
So I got linked to him. Olivia Wilde, who I did Drinking Buddies with, had worked with him. So I did the thing where I texted her and I go, tell me about this guy. And she goes, as nice as it gets, great collaborator. So I was like, all right, pretty cool. And then it shot in London. I brought it up to my wife, and my wife was like, if we have a chance to do a Tom Cruise movie, I think we do it. That would be fun.
Right.
So no script, nothing. He said Tom would be really interested in improvising with you because he knows how much you like to kind of like improvise and loosen it up. And going back to that 2-shot stuff we were talking about, I love the game to work with talented people. You got the best seat in the house. So I'm like, man, I get to improvise with Tom Cruise and like mix it up with him. I don't know how to say no. There was no script. They said, are you interested? So I said, yes. 6 weeks later, I get the script. The whole first 30 pages are me and him as soldiers running through the Mideast getting attacked. So going back to Chicago and my dad, that was his reaction. He's like, Tom, and I go, he goes, buildings, attack. Well, you as a soldier. This is an idea I don't like. So when I read that, knowing who he is, I know it's going to be 2 shots. I know Chris and Val, those were the character names, would be running. He wants the camera in front. So if the camera's in front and pulling us, how do you get a stunt double?
Yeah.
You got to get a stunt double if you shoot from behind.
Right.
Well, he makes his money because they know it's him. So if we jump in a hole together, the shot's not going to be he jumps in, cut to wide, the back of some other guy jumping in.
Yeah. And you coming out after lunch with your tea bag. How did the jump go?
Yeah. Exactly right, man. It's not going to be that.
But Jake, isn't that, let's be honest, it's an adult form of peer pressure going on, because if that was Kevin Bacon, you'd be like, figure to jump shit out.
Okay, yeah.
I'll be at the craft service.
No
but with
question.
Tom Cruise, and he knows that.
No question.
He knows you're going home to your wife, going, we might die, but it is Tom Cruise. He's like, fucking jump off the building, Jake. We got bills.
These are facts.
He's totally. I'm surprised you're not a Scientologist, to be honest with you, guys.
They passed. I would have been. I'm like, whatever you want, I'm in.
Well, like, you're like a male Leah Remini. You'd have been nothing but trouble on the back end.
Suppressant person. If you define an SP, you're looking at it.
Not only would you quit, you do a movie about the religion, a comedy.
I would be doing a comedy about it while doing it, going like, there's a lot of money in selling you guys out.
We read that your family was in the perfume business.
Still are.
Okay. Do you wear cologne every day?
Not for free, I have to buy my own fragrance, you know.
Yeah, but like today, do you have cologne on?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you don't wear cologne.
I don't. I do now.
I got
After this show.
Yeah. Can you tell us your favorite cologne?
It's a Guerlain Imperial, extra dry.
Write that down. Write that down, and let's get a box to the house.
I'm still focused on the watch. I need somebody, a friend, to give. You got to give me something that I wear the rest of my life. I mean, how cool is that? A gift like from someone of that ilk, too, that level. My gosh.
Okay.
Why do I wear that? Is that your question?
No. I just want to know if you wear cologne. Number two, I've met two of your daughters.
But I got to tell you why I wear the cologne. This is important.
Oh, go ahead.
That's what my grandfather wore, and he would pour it on his handkerchief every day. He was a very meticulous man, and he'd go like that, and then he put the handkerchief away wherever it was. And during the day when it's sweaty, remember we come from Cuba or Miami where he eventually passed away there. It's hot, so you have the handkerchief with the Guerlain, and you can.
You must be loving this move because you're all about colognes. This is unbelievable.
I've never heard of anybody applying the cologne with a cloth. I didn't even know
Do the handkerchief.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was possible.
But then you get a refresh all day long. It's unbelievable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the reason why, and goes to, I guess, just my love for him, is that it reminds me of him. So it's an homage to him.
That's great.
And I've never said this. I think maybe I've said this once, but you seem to be obsessed for a long time, both of you, about the pocket square.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just the pocket square. Okay? Because my daughters watch your show and you go, Dad, you got to watch this show. They've been talking about you for like 10 months. And they want to know, what kind of underwear you wear, what's with the pocket square, and how does he work out? What weights does he use? The pocket square is an homage to my uncle and my father.
I like it. Everything that you do has intention.
Yes, it's amazing.
So I share that with you
purpose.
because I consider you a friend, and I know you guys have been curious. And
We have.
Just a little nugget I'm going to throw you.
We love the nuggets.
We do.
What
a moment. What a moment. Listen, while we're still on that, can I ask one more while we're going down this comedic lane? Hotel pool. How does Andy Garcia get in? Do you do a jump? Do you slowly walk down the stairs?
Ladder. What do you do?
Like you're getting up off the chase.
What age?
Now, grown man, of your level of class. Well,
I have the capacity to both dive head first and or just wade in, depending on the nature of the pool, how many people are in it, how cold it is.
Right. I haven't done a dive in years. Now I got to do a dive. I'm going to dive thinking of you. I really am.
Make sure you check how deep it is. Okay.
Do you realize though, on some level, that like you're going to a store? And I know you're going to say no because you're such a humble man, but you're going out to a store. Maybe you have on sweats. Do you have that moment where you're like, I'm Andy Garcia? There's an expectation. Like the way you dress now is exactly what we would expect. Just class.
Wherever I go, I just go in. I'm assuming that nobody knows who I am.
But it's just how you live your life.
Yeah,
and it's like,
I don't have, other than the 4 guys that came with me that are outside. Have you ever seen this thing on the internet? I encourage people to look it up. It's a people revoice the very famous scene where Bruno Ganz is playing Hitler, great German actor, and he's in the bunker, and he has all his guys around him. So people go in there and redub the scene, and instead of saying, you know, Hitler, they're coming, we're gonna die soon. The ships are coming, they're approaching, they're only 2 miles away. They put different scenarios and redub the whole thing.
Oh.
And one of them was where they talk about the Miami Dolphins, and back in the day where they say there's Hitler was going, we need to suck for luck. Andrew Luck was the quarterback. We need to suck for luck. So they did one where they're breaking the news to Hitler that I am not Italian. I swear to God. I don't know if you can find it, but you have to see it now. Just people will see it when they see it. Oh, yeah. So they're saying, and he starts losing his, his finger starts twitching. He starts losing his mind. And he finally says, you can't be, maybe just his mother is Italian. Someone search who his mother is. Like, oh shit, oh crazy. Or the father, the mother. Anyway, this thing, so someone sent it to me, and I just said, this is fucking hilarious. Oh, yeah. And so I sent it to Francis.
Oh, yeah?
Who cast the guy wasn't Italian in the movie, right? And he just wrote back, you're not Italian?
There is a segment that we do on this show about Tom Cruise.
Not even on purpose. It kind of
just happened. We ask people, do you have a Tom Cruise story? Have you ever encountered this man? And if so, is the energy palpable? Is it electric?
Okay, all right. I have a Tom Cruise story. I'd like to prep you for this. It does involve the moon landings. Are you in?
Whatever, yeah.
Okay, so I met him at a friend's wedding, and he was
rolling with.
Well, Stanley Tucci got married. Beautiful wedding, amazing. They didn't have a cake; they had a cheese platter. It was phenomenal. Anyway, Tom Cruise is there because he's filming Mission Impossible in England, and Stanley's an old mate of his. Anyway, so he's there, and I bump into him at the reception the night before, drinks, and I didn't have anything to say to Tom Cruise. So I know a thing or two, my education coming through here. So I said, you worked with Stanley Kubrick on Eyes Wide Shut. And he said, yes, I did. I said, I have a question. Did he use the NASA lenses on that movie? And he went, well, how did you know that? And I went, he used the lenses that were used on the Apollo 13 moon mission. He used those lenses. That's why he was able to film Barry Lyndon. Barry Lyndon's filmed by candlelight. No one else could figure out, how is this director able to film this? Well, he had the best lenses ever made by humanity. Now, I don't know if you know anything about NASA.
I don't even know who Barry Lyndon is.
It's a Harvey Keitel movie from the 70s.
It's one of those things where you have to nod your head and
it's a
act
movie.
like you know who it is.
Jimmy, do you have more respect if we stop and say we don't understand, or should we just fake it and let you go?
No, this is fantastic. Yeah, I mean, listen, you've got Google. You can listen to this back.
No, but this is awesome.
So he's this. So Stanley Kubrick. You know who Stanley Kubrick is, right?
Yes, of course. And I love Eyes Wide Shut.
Greatest director of his generation, right?
Of course.
So, if you imagine, so I said to Tom Cruise, why did he have those lenses? And Tom Cruise went, well, I know he had the lenses. I don't know why he had them. I said, well, I've heard a story, and I think it might be true. I think when the Cold War was happening, right, there was a Cold War between Russia and America, and it was, people can't imagine it now because they only imagine, they say, oh, the world's in a terrible place. The world was in a terrible place in the 1960s, right? These two superpowers were facing off, and the stakes were humanity, right? So the moon mission was a big part of showing who was dominant, who was most powerful. So when the Americans landed on the moon, you're in show business, do you think they did a rehearsal? Do you think they rehearsed the camera moves? Or you think they just went up there like a couple of guys on a trip with a camcorder and went, we'll just see what happens? So they rehearsed everything, down to the final detail. They rehearsed it out in the Mojave Desert. They got a director in. Who did they get as a director? Well, they got the best director working in the world. They got Stanley Kubrick in to direct the moves. What are we going to do? How are we going to frame it? What's it going to be? What's that guy going to say when he lands? How are we going to do this thing? They rehearsed everything. So any B-roll you see, anyone that's a moon landing, oh, they never did it, the flags aren't. Yeah, that's B-roll. You're looking at B-roll. Somehow in the 70s, they mixed up some of the actual footage from the moon and some of the B-roll that Kubrick shot. Kubrick never talked about it. Kubrick has loads of references to the Apollo moon missions in later things, just as a little nod. But then he got paid in lenses. NASA doesn't have a garage sale. They didn't sell the stuff afterwards. But he ended up holding that shit because he did for them. Good Tom Cruise story, right?
What did Tommy C say to all this?
He said, yeah, sounds like something. He was incredibly personable. The energy was terrific.
I think, listen, after hearing this story, bro, this might be the first time Tom Cruise walks away.
Right.
And when he goes on interviews, he says, I got a Jimmy story.
Right. I agree. He probably took this back to Scientology people and said, did you know about Kubrick's lenses?
I tell you, the thing about Tom Cruise that I really like was he's obviously an incredibly famous guy and very aware of who he is and very giving of his time. He's like absolutely, lots of eye contact and very incredibly charming. And charm, I think, is an interesting thing. Like, I got a theory on this in stand-up. You've got charm or charisma. It's one or the other, right? So charm is, I come to you. Obama is very, very charming. I come to you. Think about how his rhythm is, how he speaks, the way he tilts his head. I come to you. Charisma is you come to me. Trump is very charismatic. Whatever side of the political line, he's very charismatic. So Jennifer Aniston is incredibly charming. Everyone wants to be her friend, literally, metaphorically. Angelina Jolie is incredibly charismatic.
Yeah.
They both get to have sex with Brad Pitt. Don't worry about a thing, ladies. You're one or the other, but knowing what you are on stage is very valuable, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that thing about like charm is sometimes, charm isn't people like you. It's they think you would like them. I have virtually no charm. I've got a lot of charisma. But knowing what you are is really, really interesting.
Pete,
What do you think you got?
what do you got?
I think I got both. I don't know.
Can you,
Jimmy, here
You're
we
so
go.
close. You're neither. So close.
I haven't heard anything about landfills lately. Have you? Like, now the big thing is like global warming and this. I feel like they go from like landfills, let's try to global warming now, and then something else will come along in the next 10 years that they're telling us to do.
All I know is like I used to live on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. I'd see the barge come by with all the garbage. And I'm like, oh, I don't know where that's going, but I'm glad I ain't living forever. What about dead people? We can't keep burying everybody. We're going to run out of spots.
You think so? You think that the cemetery? I haven't heard anything about cemeteries.
I drive in sometimes. You land in JFK and you take a car and you pass the cemetery where you're like, who's licking their chops? The condos you could put up there? How long have these people been dead? Is there I feel like after 100 years, if you've disintegrated, we can open that lot back up.
They did that in Sicily at a cemetery. They were running out of spots, and the people that have been there for 130 years, they said, dig this shit up, get rid of it. Let's start you like if you went.
Why even dig them up though? Like seriously, just put the parking lot right over them. It's over. It's been, nobody's even visited your shit for 50 years.
I think we talked about this.
We have.
Okay, is there if the gravesite has not been visited in say 8 years by a family member,
right?
Do they say, listen, no one's coming? It's almost like a movie. No one's coming to see the movie. Take it out of the theater.
That's it.
Right? Could you do that with bodies?
Right. I think you should. And first you get rid of
What do you think, guys? Could you remove bodies from the cemetery if nobody's visited them? No, it's got to stay there.
What if they said that they'll give you $1 million house in the Hamptons on the water, but you can have it for $250,000, but you're going to be right above a gravesite and the bodies are still under there? Yeah, you'll take it. I'll do poltergeist. I'll have an arm come up in the pool while they're making the pool. I wouldn't even care. Found another arm. Yeah, I hope it works out. Are you guys afraid that everything's going to be AI? I mean, shit, right? I mean, right?
Well, it depends what field you're in. I don't know the capabilities of this thing. I just use it for emails every once in a while.
Like, what would you do if you got on a plane? You got on a plane and someone comes on and goes, "Hi, I am Bob. I am your AI pilot. I am better than a human because I don't get tired and I never make mistakes." We will be going to Milwaukee. It will take this long. Hey, are we going? Are you going to Milwaukee? You're getting in my room.
From what I understand, an airplane, and I don't know if we have any aviation personnel in the audience, but it's basically flying itself anyway, right? You only need a pilot to take off and land, but the most of the trip is taken care of by a computer. Again, don't quote me on this. We're not well read. This is just like my information is all like hearsay. Like I'll be at a dinner party and I'll be talking to a guy, and he'll go, the plane flies by itself, and I go, oh, okay, and then I'll just like regurgitate that here. It's not like from a valid publication.
He just said to the crowd, I don't know if there's a pilot out here, but what do you do, land a plane and that's it? That's it?
I've asked many pilots, and I've asked pilots while I was on the plane, if you, God forbid, both have a heart attack at the same time, do you think I could land this thing? Right? That's my biggest fear. I go up into the cockpit, and there, I go, what the fuck? And I got to take the guy out of the seat, and then I got to get in there, put the head thing on, and go, okay, what do we do? So the guy goes, absolutely no way in hell that you could land the plane on your own.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Oh my! What would be the first thing you say when you get on? You're like, hello, hello, hello.
No, I'd be very calm. I think I'd be very calm.
Right.
And go, hi, 2 of the pilots just had a heart attack. They're dead. I'm a passenger on the aircraft. There's nobody here that knows what they're doing.
Right.
Can you guide me through this? Right. And then I'd just like to hear what they would say.
They would say, we're going to get your wife and daughter on the phone so you can tell them how much you love them. And then we're going to steer you over the Atlantic so nobody else gets hurt because you're about to die. I had a story to tell you. Do we have any time left? What are we doing?
Yeah. Tell your story.
All right. So, as you may or may not know, Sadie had been diving for like 2.5 years. And she's okay. She gets scared to do the harder ones. She gets scared of wiping out. And there's this one for about 4 months she's been dying to do. It's this reverse. And she keeps not doing it, right? And every time they have dive practice, sometimes everyone's like, all right, you got this, Sadie. And everyone's watching it. She tries, and she just can't get it. And she gets very upset. So, long story short, she's got there's like 2 people that coach them. One is an older gentleman who's well respected. He's like done a lot of stuff. Got one kid that's just got a scholarship. She's going to probably play in the Olympics. She's unbelievable. So, he knows what he's doing. And then there's another guy. I'm not saying he doesn't know what he's doing. He does as well. But he's more like the assistant. You know what I mean? He when the head guy isn't there, he's in charge. But otherwise, he's like the assistant. So a lot of times the head guy isn't around. So for months will go by where it's just the other guy, and they have it twice a week. And Sadie keeps wanting to try to reverse, and for like I said, for 4 weeks she can't get it. And like sometimes the guy will go, "All right, that's enough for today. We've tried enough for today. Just do jumps." And you just jump up off the board. Like Sadie doesn't want to do that. Or what's been happening a lot lately, she'll go and he'll go, "I want you to start with jumps, and then we'll do blah, blah, blah." And she'll go, "I want to try to reverse. We'll do that at the end." And then by the end, they run out of time, and she doesn't get to do it. So she's been very frustrated, and she's like, "Dad, I just want to work on my reverse." And there's like 10, 15 kids, so it's not, everyone's doing what they want to do. There's 2 boards, you're going all over. It's not like, we're all doing this right now. Everyone's doing what they're working on. So I said, well, you just got to stand up for yourself and blah, blah, blah. So I was on the road doing that club, and I come home early in the morning, and she's got diving. She's already there. And I go straight there because I want to watch her. It's already been going on for an hour. And I walk in, and there's like a whole, I go to sit in the bleachers, and I see her, and she does a jump. And then I look at her, and she's like, wants to talk to me. And I was like, because I keep telling her, look, just be happy. Just no matter what, don't stress out if you can. So she comes up to me, and she's like, "Dad, I just want to try my reverse," and he won't let me try it, right? Now, the coach it's kind of like over here by me. Like, I'm up on the bleachers. They have like a ledge, so I can't get down where he is. And I go, I'll say his name is Tim. It's not. I goes, "Excuse me, hey, Tim." And he turns around, and I go, "Any chance," just like this, I go, "Any chance Sadie could try her reverse a few times?" And he goes, what's that, sir? And I go, could Sadie maybe try her? No, sir, she cannot try her reverse. I'm in charge here. And I go, no. She just wants to try a reverse. I'm in charge here, sir, okay? And I don't like to be undermined. And I go, listen, Tim, you're not the end all. If she wants to do a reverse, I don't like to be undermined. I go, Sadie, do your, sir, I need you to leave, sir. I need you to leave in front of all the parents. He's kicking me out of the diving thing, right? This has been 2.5 years Sadie's been doing this. Jackie deals with these people, and I don't want to make a big deal here. So I go, you're kicking me out? All right, Sadie, I'll see you outside. And as I go to get up, I go, Sadie, just do your reverse. And I go like this about that guy. Don't even like that, like about him. I go, just do your reverse. And then as I go, he goes, goodbye, sir, goodbye, sir. And then Sadie looks at him and goes, I want to do my reverse. I don't understand why you won't just let me do it. Now she's 10 and she's talking politely to this guy. And he looks over at her and he goes, because I told you to do jumps. And now I'm not leaving because now my daughter's confronting you. So I come further back down. I'm looking over the ledge. And she goes, but you always want me to do jumps, and then you never let me go to reverse. We never have time, and that's all I want to do. Everybody else is doing what they want because everybody's doing what I tell them to do. But I've been trying to do this for 3 weeks. Yeah, for 3 weeks. Maybe it's time you try something else. I don't want to. I want to keep her. Sadie, I want you to do jumps. And she goes, no, I'm not doing jumps, right? And he goes, I think you should leave too, Sadie. Get your stuff and you should leave. And I go, whoa, you're kicking my daughter out of diving? And she goes, Dad, she's getting upset. She goes, Dad, I don't even want to be here anyway, Dad. I go, all right, say, get your stuff. No problem, get your stuff. You're out of line. That's what I said to him. And then he goes, oh, well, if you want to come down here and discuss. I go, there's nothing left to discuss. You just kicked me and my daughter out of your diving class. Whatever this is. This isn't the Olympics, man. All right? So I then she comes around, I get her, and I come out and Jackie calls her. She's like, is Sadie showering? I go, she's showering because I got kicked out. She got kicked out. It's over. Right? So, and then you look up and all the parents pretend they aren't looking. They're on their phones. I'm like, you were all watching that shit. Oh, man. Fucking guy kicking me out of your little fucking Marco Polo class.
Okay, bro. Listen, I feel like, is it something that you're doing? Because I feel like you're always in this situation where you confront, and then there's like, it could be at the airport, it could be anywhere, and people are always saying, "Sir, like, we had this problem at the airport. Right. Remember when the woman was like, "Sir, you need to, leave." It just seems like you're the main, part of the equation when these hostile encounters are happening. So are you approaching it in a confrontational way, or is this just luck that you're always getting kicked out of something?
It's a very fair question. No, I feel, yes, to them, I'm confrontational, but I don't think I am. I'm just a man, and I'm doing what men used to do. I mean, the stuff you're saying is very similar. You're more of a silent assassin, You're like, you take the time to screw the silencer up, But aside from that, man, it's like, what was I going to say? Yeah, I don't think you and I'm sorry to categorize you, but I'll just say myself. People aren't a fan of outspoken, they like weakness. They like meekness. You know what I mean? So they can sense it. So like right away, like they said, I feel like people say in their head, I'm not going to take anything from that guy. So like if a woman or anyone else said, excuse me, can my daughter maybe do a couple of ba-ba-ba? Not right now, we're working on this. But he's already got in his head, like he's seen me at other practices. He's seen me pull her over and talk to her. He's seen me get a little heated with a judge from a distance. In his eyes, I'm already an asshole. So he's just looking for that one thing. There goes the asshole, and you're out of here. Okay, my daughter's not Nadia Comaneci, okay? This ain't Russian Olympics, bro. She's 10 years old. And again, he's not a father, so like,
A 10-year-old is talking to you. You know how hard that is for her to stick up for herself? And you're going, I'll tell you when it's time. Guy, goodbye. Father's hovering right over. And she doesn't even, she's like, Dad, I'm not a good diver, and I don't think I'm good because I don't care enough to get good. I don't like to wipe out. I can't get past the fear of, banging my head sometimes, because now the dives are getting a little more elaborate. And she's just like, it's just not my thing.
Okay, so this is what I think needs to happen, and I'm not promoting violence by any way, shape, or form, but this is reminiscent of Goodfellas, and I don't know if you remember this scene where Ray Liotta...
Greatest movie.
Yeah, Ray Liotta is at the tennis club. That dork kind of comes over, says hello, he gives him that kind of half a handshake. Then that guy beats up Karen, right? And then... as he's going across the street to confront this guy's like, what are you going to do, Chachi, or whatever the hell? And he takes the butt of the gun, right?
Yeah.
In his own driveway, right? And the other two guys, right? Go, we don't want any part of that. So what I'm suggesting is, I'm wondering why the people that have seen you behave in other realms of life, wouldn't they be going, I don't want any piece of this guy. So if he wants his girl to do back dives, go right ahead, because this guy's a loose cannon.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And I'm paying you every week to do this. It's not like Little League. And for diving, you bring the money every time and they put it in an envelope. So like on some level, I want to be like, hey, we don't even need you. We just need the boards. Get out. Yeah. You're not the main guy. The main guy is, so, that's how, but I agree. I'm like, bro, all we want to do is, it has nothing, it's no skin off your back. If she does it 90 times in a row, what's it to you? If she's doing that or a jump.
I think we need a Pete moment which scares the town straight, where word gets out going, you don't want to fuck with Correale. Did you see what happened at diving school? Or whatever. Right. There's got to be a moment where it all turns for you.
I don't know. I feel like half the people in this town that know me appreciate what I do, and the other half that know me think I'm an asshole and they can't wait till I move. You know what I mean? Which is all fair enough, but I feel like the reason I never like get in a position where anyone like wants to hit me is because I deep down I'm right when I do these things. I'm right, man.
Oh my God. All right. First of all, have you ever met Tom Cruise? We have a thing on...
No, I have not.
Okay, or Michael Jackson.
There's a whole thing last night I did in the show about Michael Jackson. I was close to meeting Michael Jackson, and I did not, though, yeah.
Well, explain how you were close. How did that...
Well, I was at the Luxor, and...
because he used to live out here, too, right?
He lived right down the street from me, and I literally would... I was not joking.
He said Michael Jackson was his neighbor.
Yeah, I'd drive home from work, and I'd drive by his house just to see. I mean, literally, I'm like that kind of person. I just see maybe he might be out there watering the lawn. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, checking the mail. I don't know.
Right, in his room, getting the mail.
Like that, people aren't normal. He probably went and checked the mail one time, maybe one time. But I would go and just drive by and just see if there's a light on, or just see if he's fuck. You never know. And I'd never seen him. But then one night, Chris Angel called me. That's when he had a show at the Luxor as well. We both had shows going on at the Luxor. And he called me. He knows that I'm a huge Michael Jackson phenomenon freak. So he says, Scotty, I think, now I'm not 100% sure, but I think Michael Jackson's going to come to my show tonight with his son. And no one, remember that, no one can come, but you can come. But no Jeff, nobody. So I broke the news to Jeff, said you can't come. I have just security's going to walk me down. So I'm in my show. I'm doing a Michael Jackson bit that I have in the show. And as I'm in the middle of doing it with the leaf blower hit me, I'm thinking, I'm going to go meet this guy right after, like literally 10 minutes from now. And I come running off the stage, and there's Jeff, and I see security, and he's like, what? He's like, they can't. I said, they canceled on me? Or they said, no, Michael Jackson. they were already ready to run me down there, and that 5 seconds, it was just like Chris called and said, no, he didn't. He just bailed.
Oh, wow.
But I was this close, and being my neighbor, I said I got to run into him. I'd run into his dad every day at Target and shit all the time.
Really?
Every day. I mean, literally every week I'd see his dad at like Target or grocery store, and he'd always say, "Hey, Scott, Carrot Top, what do I call you, Scott, Carrot Top?"
That's nuts to me, man.
Yeah.
Carrot Top and Michael Jackson's dad chatting at Target.
Yeah. He was always known for being around town. People would always see him. Yeah.
Wow.
But never met Tom Cruise. No.
Is there other people?
But going back to your first question, do they tell you? Sometimes they like if there's someone that shows up that unannounced, I don't know, they might put a thing on the side that shows like whatever's here, and I can read and say, oh fuck what. I'm usually informed before.
Do you incorporate any famous people that come to your show in your show?
Absolutely. And if I hear they're coming, I already come up with something, and then I usually do it regardless of asking them. I just do it. But if they specifically ask me not to be like mentioned, not mentioned like in fun of, but be what do you call it, calling upon, or hey, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Cruise, then I definitely don't do that. I walk right by him. When I go into the crowd and do this thing, I just walk right by him. We had a performer one night come, and that was the number one rule. We're coming, but no shout out, please, no nothing. But didn't say I couldn't make a joke about him. So
it's a good old days.
I go out, I did, and I boom, and I do this thing where I give out a shot of booze, and I'm giving out shots of Crown, and the first person to stand up that wants the shot of Crown is the person that did not want to be mentioned. So I'm like, is this a trick? So I'm like, okay, and loves me, and we go back, and then I do this horrible, I can tell you who it is, Shania Twain. And then I go up and I do this joke about her that I'd already done in my show. So I didn't usually I make up one when they come, they're like, so-and-so's coming. Like Sting came. I said, I need a Sting joke. So I'll come up with a Sting joke right before they get there. But this one I already had built in. I used to about Shania Twain. Every song she sings is like a cheerleader. Every song, and then they play them. Let's go, girls. And every song has got this little, oh, right. Let's go, right? So it's funny. I said, Shania, she's beautiful. And I would so nail that again. Like a just throwaway. I would so nail that again. And so my friend's like, you're not going to do the nail again thing when she's here. I said, well, yeah. You're going to say you nailed her again with her there and her husband's there? I'm like, well, yes, because she knows I didn't nail her once. So it's just, and Fred's going to think, did you nail him? So I do it and it kills. And the first thing she comes back is, you nailed me again? I said, yes. Said, yeah, you don't remember I don't remember the first time, but you nailed me, huh? And I said, yeah.
Wow, really nice looking back at those moments at the Pete and Sebastian Show 2024 with the guests that we had. Moving into 2025, we plan on having more guests. I know that you haven't really seen them in the last 6 months due to the fact that Pete and I have been on tour. But the plan here at the Pete and Sebastian Show is to bring you more compelling guests as we move forward into 2025. I know you're looking forward to that, Pete.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I mean, do you have anyone in mind? Like, I want to get like Larry Bird.
Oh, wow. Larry Bird.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what you say to that, right?
I'm still trying to come up with it.
I mean, obviously, I want to get Tommy C, but I mean, in the meantime, Larry Bird would be a nice get.
Yeah, I think Larry Bird would be interesting. I'd like to get some chefs on, some restaurateurs, maybe a Michael Viltaggio or a Mario Carbone. I know Emerald is a fan of the show. Emerald Lagasse.
I sat on an episode at the table where I tasted the food. One of the people. I ever tell you that story? Unbelievable.
No. All right.
Yeah.
So Pete has
I got the video of it.
Well, maybe we should dissect that on the next show.
And what about, I got to see if I can find, but I love Emerald. He's a legend. What about Bobby Flay? You got any Bobby Flay connection? I watch him every night
I know
of my
Bobby
life.
Flay. I know Bobby Flay, and we could get him in here. If I think he still might have a place.
I know Bobby Flay better than you know Bobby Flay. I don't never met him, but I watch him every night. I know I got questions for this guy.
All right. Bobby Flay could be a next guest here on the Pete and Sebastian Show 2025. So lots to get into. Thanks again for a great year, and we will see you next year.
I'm glad we're doing it another year, bro. I just got the news.